Hello Jeanette and Bonnie and Phoenix and anybody else out there who's listening and watching. Welcome to Yvonne's Love Stream Walks, this Friday Fellowship of Lovelies as we connect together and walk each other home. Hi Tom. Yeah, here we are high above the Findhorn River. We are downstream from Logie. Hi Diane. And I've been walking the cliffs, but I'm just doing this bit today. Now you can see the sort of reddish rock over in the distance. Hello Susan. There's a little hut on the top, and that's a little fishing hut. And then just here you can see some stairs going down in the middle of the picture now. Gosh, you'd have to be an intrepid fisherman to get down there to fish. And then along here we have these lovely slabs of rock. A little bit of a nice breeze. It's supposed to be about 18 Celsius today. And it was sunny earlier. You can see the sky. There's a bit of blue. But it's beautiful. And you can see, you can hardly see the track I've just been walking on because of the very lush undergrowth and all the ferns. And we even have some of the first heather out. Look, some of the first heather. Yay. The bell heather has been out. It's a darker, it's almost like a fuchsia pink. We have some here. So this is the bell heather. And it is the 1st of August tomorrow. I always think of heather coming in August, and it is. We're there. So tomorrow, welcome to Lunasa. Hi, yes, great that Wisconsin is coming in. It's always nice to have a bit of the Americas and a bit of the UK, a bit of Europe, a little bit of Australia with Phoenix. Yeah, look at that little sprig of heather. I always think of my mum who was called Heather. Heather Davidson, a good Scottish name. So yes, we've been walking along this track, and now we're going to wander along towards the mouth of the Findhorn River, but we're never going to get that far. But really lovely to see you. And today we are walking with, let me find my little angel. We're walking with the quality of light. I love this quality. All the meditations at Findhorn, well, not all, but we often invoke love and light. And I know that Eileen and Peter used to talk about love, light and wisdom quite a bit. And of course we are all the light. We are the light of the world. And can you see those stairs over there? It's amazing. I don't think, yeah, I can't zoom in. I'll wreck up my picture. But anyway, come with me. Come with me along this little track through the undergrowth. There's lots of ferns, and yeah, it's gorgeous looking over to the other bank of the river. There is a walk over there as well. I don't know how the signal is over there, but look, here we go for a little wander along here. If you've just joined, we're walking with the quality of light. And I was really happy to have the quality of light today because I've been doing these amazing they're part meditations, part visualizations. And the one I did today sort of merged me with the spark of light that I am beyond my body, and then merged that spark of light with the light of all consciousness. That was pretty amazing. And look, giving you some sprigs of heather here as we wander along the track. So I'm very aware of myself and all of us as sparks of light. And I remember Eileen saying at some point, blaze the light, blaze the light. Blaze it into every corner of the darkness. And there's lots of roots on this track. But I like it when it's very narrow. That's why I told you we had to walk in single file today. And you'll all be very happy to hear about a development in Diane's life. Now, we all were very sad to hear that Kiku, Diane's beloved Kiku cat, the cat, passed not that long ago. But Diane sent me some photos today of her 2 new kittens. And Diane, please put in the chat what they are. They're blue-grey little, anyway, and their names are gorgeous names. One is called Chakra and one is called Karma. And I'm looking forward to officially welcoming Chakra and Karma into the Fellowship of Lovelies at the Zoom on the 12th of August. And I'm sure that Tom, another cat person, and Ellen, if she's found her way onto the walks, but I suspect not yet. Yeah, great to have 2 little kitties to join us, along with the ones that are already part of the fellowship. Yeah, so I'm so happy for you, Diane. And this week, Eileen talks about when one door closes, another door opens. And yeah, Kiku's passing brought these 2 little kittens into your life. Look, we're going to go through a rather narrow little path here. I'm glad I've got long leggings on. Look, you're coming with me. We could hold hands if you like. And you can see there's dappled sunshine, which is lovely. British short hair kittens. I don't know anything about cats, but they looked very lovely and cuddly and furry, so I'm sure they're bringing a lot of love into your life, Diane, and you're bringing a lot of love into theirs as well. And just some more heather here in the sunshine, and just these masses of ferns everywhere in the forest. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, how are you all? As we finish July, coming to with 31st of July, 2026. How did that happen? And tomorrow is the big, well, I mean, I'm calling it the Lunasa celebration, but it's also being called the Summer Gathering. And I know some of you, I put the link, if you want to buy a ticket, which supports the maintenance of the hall, I put the link on the Facebook page before my little message today. I put it on a couple of days ago. And I worked out that the dance that I'm in is on about 35 minutes into the program. Oh, hi, Tricia. Welcome to Sluey. We've just been looking at the river down some very steep cliffs. And now we're wandering along the cliff top till we get another view, but gorgeous fir tree here. Yeah, so if you want to see the dance, and I actually, this live stream won't be so long as some of them because I've got to jump in my car and head back for the tech rehearsal so that they get the lighting right and the music right. And they need to project something onto the screen that will be down behind us because when we tried it out the other night, the screen was white and it was too stark. But look at these lovely sunny shadows. Beautiful. And aren't you all beautiful? I love that song. You are beautiful. Your uniqueness fills a need in our world, for you are beautiful. And then it says, I am beautiful, and we are beautiful. It's always, it seems, Jill, hi. Thanks for the purple hearts. They are the colour of the bell heather. And look at those cliffs over there. Look, I'm just stepping. So there's the river in the shade, and then I go up, and there's the cliffs. It's a really mighty gorge. I love this bit of the river. Earlier I walked all the way along to the big white house at Logiesteading, and then I walked all the way back because have I told you about my little obsession? It's a healthy one, but it is a little, almost an addiction, but on the healthy side of addictions. On the last day of the month, I'm always wanting to do a lot more steps than usual to keep my average up. There's something about it being the last day of the month that I go, okay, Yvonne, get out there. I'm wondering what little addictions or what little obsessions each of you has. Well, the dance, by the way, the dance lasts 5 minutes. So, you know, it's not a long thing, but it's the music. I just love the music. And it's called Tulum Havasi. And a tulum is the cloth-covered Turkish bagpipe. So that's what the music is. Look, I've got some bilberries here. Can you see the bilberries? I left some on the trees, on the bushes, but they're very, and my fingers got quite purple. See, there's a little, whoop. Very nice. Yep. Peggy, running late. Anyway, welcome to the fellowship. We're walking with the quality of light because we are all sparks of light, not to be overwhelmed by darkness. Although, you know, dark and light is part of one holy circle. Look, there's the river down there. And look, here's the cliffs right up. It's hard to get the river and the top of the cliffs in together. And you can see the other day when I was walking here doing my reconnaissance, there's a bench over there. It's almost impossible to see. There it is. See, and now I've zoomed in. It's even less likely to see the river. So right down to the river, look. And right up. Yes, yin and yang, that lovely symbol. Yeah, the Turkish bagpipes are great. I remember when I was in Istanbul, I went to the National Museum, I think it was, and they had a band playing. And it's there's a sort of dissonance to it, but it's gorgeous as well. But there's some people who don't even like the Scottish bagpipes, so, you know, there's no accounting for taste, is there? I love the Scottish bagpipes. But look, see the river? You can even see the pebbles on the river there. And then going up, 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 way up. And there's the little bench there. And then up to the top of the trees. Amazing. And here we are. And you can see, look how many roots there are on the ground, just waiting for me to trip up and do an oops, but I'm not. Anyway, if you've just come on, Peggy particularly, Diane has got 2 new little kittens because her beautiful cat Kiku passed. And she's got now 2 lovely grey kittens. So I'm so pleased for you, Diane. And I know Rebecca Lynn will be too. I saw she made a comment on Facebook. And yeah, so if you're going to buy a ticket to the summer gathering, please do so. And yeah, Lunasa, the Celtic festival, it's halfway between summer and autumn. And it's when the first grain is harvested. And I tell you what, the roads around here, they are full of tractors with big, they're like trucks, but with the front as a tractor, full of the harvesting of the wheat. And they're holding up all the traffic, of course. But yeah, there's a lot of harvesting going on. So I'm very aware that it's Lunasa. And now I'm going to take you down this little precarious track here. Oop. Oh God, was that an oops? I think it was. Chakra and Karma, Tom. Aren't they great names? Although it's putting a lot on a poor little kitten to call it Karma. Anyway, we're going up this steep incline here, and then we're going to get the great view of the river, and you can hear it. Just see a little rapid there. And there we go. It's a beautiful gorge, isn't it? Who's that talking there? Oops, I missed it. Oh, Jeanette. Oh, you had a cat called Mystic. Anyway, Eileen today talks about there's a season for everything. I'm not going to break into that song. And she tells us to have positive, creative, loving thoughts. And I also love that she asks us to pull our cloak of stillness and peace around us. Now, I like that image when we're agitated or our nervous system is dysregulated or something, to pull our cloak of peace and stillness around us. And I can feel the stillness as we go away from the river. And that sound of the rapids sort of fades in the background. Hi Marilyn, welcome. We've been walking along the cliffs, and I was saying earlier it's not going to be a long walk today because I need to get back for the tech rehearsal. And I think on my Facebook page, if you saw it, I said that this weekend, can we each do a spontaneous act of pure love? A spontaneous act of pure love where we don't need to know the result. So that's my wish for us, wish for myself as well. And these meditations I've been doing, where I was feeling myself as a spark of light, and then a spark of light merging with the spark of light that's all creation, all consciousness. The word is source, going back to source, if you like, and then coming back into my body and bringing source with me. Now that was really powerful. And Eileen uses the word source this week as well. The source of all creation. I'm glad you like my Aussie accent, Peggy. Nothing much I can do about it after all these years. But it was an amazing experience to really consciously experience myself as source, as consciousness, and to know that's in every cell of my body, that we're multidimensional beings, basically. And how nice it is to be wandering along this little single track path together in the lushness. And you can still hear the river. It's down there. And the lovely wind in the trees. And I mentioned earlier about the one door closing and another door opening, and I wonder where you are. Has a door closed and a new one hasn't opened yet? Or no doors closed yet, you're wondering which one might. Oh, and by the way, the people came to view my house for the second time. I've heard nothing about that. Somebody else is coming next week. But of course, neither people have their house on the market yet, so even if they wanted it, it would take a very long time, which doesn't bother me at all. So we're heading up away from the river, but we are going to get this one look when I get up here. And Phoenix, again, you're up late or up early. You're 9 hours ahead of us, so what is it? It's nearly 4:30. 1:30 in the morning for you. Well, Jeanette, multidimensional. I mean, where this reality is 3 dimensions, but there are more dimensions than that. And they say that consciousness, pure consciousness, there's no time and no space. And they talk about, I mean, at Findhorn they used to talk about the 5th dimension as well. Whee! Look at that. Up, 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 up. And still we go. And also the other thing I think I said on my Facebook page was that our homework for the rest of our lives is to see the wholeness in ourselves and in everybody. See the wholeness. And that's why we each really need to face our shadow and integrate it. That's what makes us whole. Look at these beautiful trees. And look how far they go up. Oh my God. Oh, look. Oh gosh, they are very tall. They are very, 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 very tall. And so many pine cones and pine needles on the ground. Ooh, bit of a wind. Well, you know, the reality here on Earth, it's only one, you know, we call it consensus reality. It's what we've all agreed upon. Although we all see through our own particular lens. I was reading a book where it said that there are 3 basic wounds in the human condition: unloved, unworthy, and unknown. And whichever is the wound we experience most because of our separation from the source and from birth, from our mother, and then from fractures that happen in our childhood, we see through that lens. So we interpret things differently from other people. I'm looking back down to the river now and across to the trees over there, and I just keep going up. Oh, this is a little bit very narrow here. Be careful, you lot. Yeah, some more magnificent trees here. Haven't seen Kendall today, or Rebecca Lynn. Can just start to see the river again down there. I'm just wondering if we can get a better look a little bit up here. But it's a beautiful track, isn't it? Yes, exactly, Peter. That's exactly true. That consciousness created us into the physical so that we could experience consciousness. Because consciousness can't know itself if it doesn't separate from itself. I mean, it's a bit esoteric, but I get it. Just the river down there. And it's our job in a way to find our way back to no separation. And to remember, you know, a lot of the stuff we think's important isn't really. A little perspective goes a long way. Now the real heather doesn't seem to have come into flower up here yet, but it was earlier on the walk. Ah, now that's a good view. See the river and the red cliffs in the distance there. Yeah, wending its way down to Findhorn Bay. As I go up here. And there's a lot of things happening at the park. There's another experience week. No, it's not an experience week, sorry. It's a program called Following Your Calling. And it's being run by Mary Ingalls of Game of Transformation fame. And I think at the moment there's 16 people. And yeah, it's great to see people around. And there's also, because of the Lunasa Celtic Festival, There's something called Whispers of the Unseen in the original garden on Sunday night. There's sound healing one evening. There's yoga. There's an art exhibition. Joy Drake is doing a soul fusion in the sanctuary. So much going on. And in the Rainbow Bridge this week, there's a message from one of the flower davers. There's the river again. That looks beautiful, doesn't it? With all the lush greenery around. Yeah, that's really lovely. Yeah, exactly, Jeanette. They're all the elements. Earth, air, fire and water. The sun being the fire, thankfully. We did have fire in the Cairngorms, and I hope the old Caledonian forests weren't burnt away. I don't quite know which part of the Cairngorms it was in. But this flower daver said, very similar to what I've been saying, you limit your consciousness. You have the power to do the impossible at any level. You can be light or non-light. You can transform whatever you do by your attitude until all is light and in divine flow. Well, there you go. That's why we're walking with the quality of light today. And Eileen's guidance also told her to not do things in a mediocre way. And she uses the word slapdash, which is a great word. Don't do things in a careless slapdash way. And we all know you have to do it mindfully. So I'm at the top of the cliff now. I'm really at the top of the cliff. And looking back down there, that's the path we came up. It came via Dorothy, Peter. And look, you can just see the sun glinting off the water down there. And the river wending its way around the corner. There's so much lush greenery, and look at this fabulous tree. But it's a beautiful gorge walk. If you ever get to Findhorn, I'm very happy to bring you along the sloughy part of the Findhorn River, because it's a grand scale. It's really a grand scale. And I'm so happy to see all of you. And yeah, I hope some of you join the summer gathering tomorrow night. And because we've got match funding, so for all the money raised, a lovely sponsor has said up to £3,000, he or she or they will match fund that. So that's a good incentive. And of course the hall needs lots of love and loving care. So I'm going to head this way. And you see, this is a really nice walk heading back to the car. Lots of bell heather here. Look, it's lovely, isn't it? How it turns all the greenery, that lovely shade. And soon that bright pinky purple will become what I call the real heather, which is a lighter shade. But it hasn't reached up here. So if you go back to the earlier part of the love stream, you'll see some of the heather that's come out. But look at this gorgeous track that we're walking on here together through these beautiful palm fronds that will all go brown in the autumn and become bracken. And look, this is what we're walking through together. How lovely is life? How peaceful. Yeah, and I hope that for those of you where a door has closed, there's another door or even a window opening, and that in the liminal space between, you can just hang in there and trust that, nothing is really the end. And when I think that we're all sparks of light, even when our physical bodies leave this earthly plane, I am looking forward in a way to the next great adventure of experiencing no separation, really no separation, back to consciousness. The whole thing's a bit of a mystery, but I always like putting it out there And see, as we go inland, we're just getting into this beautiful green foresty bit. So lovely. And look, we could just go in here to this little jungle. And you know, I've been walking for a couple of hours. I have seen nobody. Nobody. Just glorious. Look, all around. All around. I am very blessed to live in such a place. I hope that the weather where you are is bearable. I send love and, I don't know, energetic support to the people in areas where the fires are ravaging. Yeah. But lots of love to you, and all, you know, what we can do when I put my hand in my little pocket here is just continue to be the light. And feel that in our hearts, the light. And to do some spontaneous acts of kindness and love this weekend. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. And Diane, just so happy for you with your 2 kittens. And all the love that's flowing between you and them. And to everybody who has a cat or a dog. Yeah, the love of an animal and a pet. Yeah, so from the Fellowship of Lovelies here in this beautiful, beautiful forest, I wish you well. And I'm glad to see the weather is perfect where you, Jeanette. And Phoenix, I'm glad you woke up. It's always nice to see you here live. And, Adrienne. I just dropped Adrienne and Harold off at the airport this morning at 4:45, and they've just got back to Salzburg. So that's lovely to see them. Hi, Adrienne. Your feedback sheet is on its way, I think. And look, here we are. I'm walking back to the car. Isn't that beautiful? Well, lots of love from me here at, very close to Findhorn. The Sluey Walk is not that far away from Forest or Findhorn. But sending you lots of love, and thank you for joining me today. Mwah! See you next week.